So today I'm going to be sharing with you tips on spiritual awakening, how you know you're having a spiritual awakening, ego traps in the process of awakening into your spirit, also doing shadow work in the process of spiritual awakening, and lastly, personality traits you start to pick up on as you're having your spiritual awakening. And these tips will help you transition into a higher state of consciousness. Welcome, awakened ones. I don't know what that was, but I'm just excited today. For what reason? No reason, because I have the ability to be excited the way that you should feel excited about being alive. But anywho, if you're new to this channel, my name is Brittany. What I do is I assist people in awakening to the power to find the infinite love within. And if you notice, I'm wearing a hilarious t-shirt today. I thought to be silly. Never decided to wear this t-shirt before because I thought it would be too much. I used to offend people with it, but I'm feeling good today. Why not be a little humorous? But if you're new to this channel, already like this video, smack that subscribe button and hit the little bell notification to get daily videos from me. Now, let's jump right into this. Now, there's a huge awakening happening on this globe. Honestly, there's a huge transition and elevation into higher states of consciousness to the point karma cycles are being cleared out. Everyone's elevating, everyone's awakening, everyone's opening their mind, everyone's starting to come to a state of love rather than hate. Some are not on that optimal timeline, but some are. And if you're watching this, you definitely are on that optimal timeline and you're awakening to the process of understanding spirit. Now let's jump right into this. Now, tips that I will be sharing with you today that will help you elevate and transition more easily into your spiritual awakening. Now, I'm gonna say this right now as a disclaimer. In your process of spiritual awakening, everyone has their own way of absorbing and applying their own knowledge for them to get through their awakening. Now, understand this. The first thing you got to do is have compassion with yourself throughout the entire process. Don't be too hard on yourself. Do not think that you're not enough. Do not think that you need to be do so much work and feel like it's not enough for you. Just understand you are transitioning. You gotta have compassion for yourself, and you gotta have love in the process in order for you to elevate in a harmonious way. So let's jump right into this. How do you know you're having a spiritual awakening? You start to feel uneasy, meaning that the way things seem comfortable to you makes you feel a little uncomfortable. You start to see things as like, okay, it seems like the way that I'm living, there could be more to what I feel like I should be doing with my life rather than what I've been doing or what my parents have told me to do or people around me told me that what is everyday life. You start to feel different. You start to awaken to something that you don't completely understand, but it's like, okay, there's need to be a change. Something deep within is changing within me, and you feel it. Now, here's the thing in the process of spiritual awakening. The first tip, there are ego traps. I would know I fall into these ego traps a lot in the process of awakening. Now I completely and deliberately aware and mindful of them. Sometimes, I still get a little off track, but now I'm aware enough to catch myself before creating a karmic cycle. Now, ego traps are when you start to think people don't understand you. Like, it's impossible for anyone to understand your situation or how you think or how you feel. Another thing is, when you do that, you're in the process of thinking that you're more not equal to other people, but you're more of a higher standard. You're thinking you're too good. That's more in a state of arrogance. You start to think that you are better than other people rather than understanding you're equal to everyone and everything on this earth. Another one is where you get a little judgmental. There's a different judgmental between people who do work at the same job and they'll be like, oh, they're doing that position, they're dirty. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's more like, okay, I'm spiritually awakened and this person is so driven into the negativity and they just don't want to awaken to the understanding that there's more to life. You start to push your beliefs onto other people. That's an ego trap. Now, with my experience, I had this a lot where I thought I knew what was best for other people, to the point I told them they had to do it this way. This is the way to do it. I was really confident in expressing what I felt was right for them, and I didn't give them the recognition of how far they've come, and I didn't give them the passion to understand that they had their own path that they needed to follow. Therefore, they had their own wisdom that guided them towards what resonated with their soul, not what I thought was best for me or what was best for them. So there's a lot of things you'll come to learn in the spiritual awakening that will get you into ego traps. So just be really mindful in the process and have compassion for yourself while you're having an open mind. Now, let's jump right into the second tip. That is shadow work. When you are awakening to understanding your spirit, that you're more than just human, you're a divine spiritual being. When you start to understand this, you will have to do a lot of shadow work. I do not want to say a lot, but it's a process, because when you awaken to your spirit, you see more than most people. You're more awake to maybe 80% of people surrounded by you, and this can make you feel lonely. But in the process of feeling that loneliness, you will have to do some work. You will have to realize traumas that put you in a state of stagnation. And within the state of being stagnant, you have blocked yourself off, not only from blessings, but from understanding your true self with love, rather than resentment or insecurities. And shadow work, the way that I do my process of shadow work, I'll lay on my bed, I'll have crystals around me, I'll light incense, I'll smudge some sage around just to cleanse my area and my aura, and then I'll lay on the bed and I'll meditate, and I set intentions of what I'm going to meditate on and what I'm trying to do. Most of my intentions are just to let go, just to cleanse, just to forgive. You know, there's certain processes. You got to find what resonates with you. But shadow work is so important, because in the process of awakening to your spirit, you become a light body. And then with becoming your light body, you're trying to get yourself into a state where your spirit and your body match up and align to one, to the point that you become light. Your weight becomes light, to the point that you're so in a state of receiving and allowance that your higher self could emerge into your body and it could take over and guide you completely, to the point that divine literally is exposed and expressed and emitted through you, rather than you just being human and pretending to be small and holding in so much, to the point what makes you heavy, what makes your heart heavy, holds you out and blocks you from receiving. Like when they say people who have a lot of things on their heart is really heavy, to the point they won't be able to open up to receive love. That's where you have to do the shadow work. Like for me, in the process, I come to realize I didn't know how to allow love into my life. I had a lot of people in my life, family and friends, that loved me, even in past relationships, and I didn't know how to accept this love. I didn't know how to allow it in, because something in my past life or something in my younger ages that I couldn't remember made me believe that I wasn't worthy of love. So I had to do a lot of shadow work. I had to go through traumas that I had to visualize, and it popped up because I asked my guys to let me remember what belief I was holding on to that made me believe that I wasn't worthy of love. And then so doing that work, I had to relive some traumas, as in I've gotten raped before, as in I had my mother tell me terrible things, as in I had a sibling that used to physically, verbally, and emotionally abuse me all the time. I had to relive these things, not because to torment myself or put myself into pain. It's because I had to realize these things and learn to accept it as who I am today, and learn to love it and forgive it. Because what forgiveness makes you light, it makes you see that what happened in your life was not because of you. It happened for you. It made you. It molded you to this beautiful being that you are today. And when you could put yourself in a state of allowance and acceptance, you give yourself the willpower to have reasoning, and you can move up to higher states of consciousness, which is of love, which is of joy, which is pure ecstasy and alignment. And that's where we want to be. We want to feel that connection with divine. We want to feel that connection with our creator, with our guides, and love. So shadow work is the process of awakening, because you're shedding your old self so you can make room for your new self to emerge, to the point that you become the manifestor of your life. You become the light and the inspiration and the love that you always seek, because everything is within you. It's not out of you. So when you do the inner work and be able to be alone with yourself and not need anything, because when you don't need anything, that's when everything comes to you. You want to be a person that you can rely on with your soul and your spirit, to the point that you know you're whole and complete within, to the point that you don't need anything outside of you to feel that completion. So, last tip, that is, with spiritual awakening, you'll pick up on personality traits. What do I mean by personality traits? You become a little empathic, more empathic. Actually, you'll pick up on emotions of other people, but more like you have a lot of synchronicities. You'll see a lot of angel numbers, like 111, 222. Mine is number 3, 333, 222, or 444, 555, repeated numbers. I know I have a lot of 66. 66 is one of my numbers. One is 69, definitely. I know you might be laughing, but 69 really means just learning to let go of things. And also, one thing I've come to pick up on is that the personality trait you'll come to really harness is if you're waking up at a certain time in the morning. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. through 5 a.m., that is a perfect state of meditation, because that is a personality trait you start to pick up as your spiritual awakening. Your spirit is starting to connect with you. Your spirit's trying to channel with you. Your spirit's trying to tell you messages. And then also in your dreams as well, you start to see signs in your dreams that, like, immediately you wake up and it's like, whoa, like that felt like a message. That felt like, wait, what does this mean? Like, for me, when I have certain dreams, like if I'm walking up a flight of stairs, if I'm seeing a pair of shoes, or if I'm in the kitchen, I look up those meanings, because everything has a meaning. Your dreams, repeated numbers, synchronicities, animals, these are all signs of your higher self trying to channel with you and get your attention, to guide you. Because when you ask, you shall receive. But you got to be open to the guidance in order to lead you to that receiving. Ooh. So understand that you start to pick up on personality traits, that you start to be more mindful and aware of your surroundings, to the point that you see that everything is a state of trying to connect with you, and you trying to connect with yourself. So it's just a state of guidance. And honestly, I look up everything, so don't have hesitation of looking up everything on Google. A lot of people say superstition. I don't believe in superstitions. I believe in spiritual guidance. And it's within me, and it's with everything outside of me as well. If I feel someone is a certain way and I don't like it, that's my energy telling me that, you know, I need to back off, because that's going to penetrate my aura with that weird energy. Or sometimes where I feel like someone's thinking about me, or I'm thinking of something that's about to happen, and it does. And it just immediately does. Like, I immediately manifest. These are all guides helping you. Like me, I see a lot of blue jays. I see a lot of red birds. I keep forgetting what they're called, but these are signals. Like when I see dragonflies, like these are signals to guide you. So you start to pick up a personality traits when you start to awaken more to everything around your reality. It's just a reflection of your inner reality, and it's helping and guiding you to shift to higher states of consciousness. So because when these personality traits, when you start to see and become deliberately aware, it's waking you up for you to shift yourself, cleanse your aura, cleanse your energy, cleanse your energetic field, so you can move swiftly into your life and be on the state, not the optimal path, but on the harmonious slate of everything that this universe is linked with. And when you're linked with the universe, you're linked with abundance, with joy, with love, and your true divine self. And that's who you want to be. That's who you're meant to be, and that's who you are. So in the process of spiritual awakening, like I said in the beginning, love yourself and have compassion, because you are growing immensely and rapidly. But give yourself some time and give yourself some patience, because in spiritual awakening, you're learning about who you truly are while shedding who you thought you were. So you gotta have nothing but immense love for yourself. So build a foundation while you're in the process of your spiritual awakening. So those were my tips from my own experience that assisted me into my spiritual awakening, and I know it will impact your life if you apply all these tips I've shared with you today into your life. Now, that was all I had to share with you. I really know it's going to assist you into the process of your growth, and I'm really grateful for that. So if you really enjoy this content, like I said, smack that like button. Also hit that subscribe button if you really enjoy this content that I share, and also hit that bell notification so you get daily videos from me. Also follow me on Instagram. My link will be anywhere up there. Also in the description, I will leave a link so you can go follow me on Instagram. But until then, you guys, I adore you. I love you. I really enjoy that my guides push me to giving and being of service for you, because I just want you to be better for you, and you deserve to love who you are, because divine loves you. That's why divine wakes you up every day. That's why divine created you here. So you deserve to love yourself so wholeheartedly. Until then, you guys, I'll see you in the next one with bliss and love. Namaste.